Hello and welcome to Mufc Realist TV. I'm a member of this channel, but you should subscribe or in this show, we're gonna look a cow in the ass.
Look a cow in the ass, Eric. You remember that one. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Eric Ten Hag, will you be looking a cow in the ass on Sunday, or will you actually, would Ange look you in the ass on Sunday? Because definitely we're going to surprise some Spurs on Sunday. It's the big one, people. It's I think I would say that's the first game of the year, like in the Premier League. And, how are you all feeling? Like, do you feel giddy? Do you feel positive? Do you feel that we're going to do a number? Lo Celso is not playing. They got some injuries. Who is Ten Hag going to be playing? We always say here, play your best team and don't start Scott McTominay. Please don't start Rashford. But at the end of the day, we don't have the power. We don't have the power. What we do have is this community. Guys, buckle up. Please like and subscribe to this video. We will be back after this break with Stu Wooley, Vicky, Jarvis, and everyone. And I'm just going to open the show. See you in a bit.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world
on MUFC Realist TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Ooh, look a cow in the ass. Stu Wooley, how are you doing, my friend? Are you with me? Are you with me? Stewie.
I am with you. Sorry, I was just reading a text off Vic. She's just leaving the pool. She is on her way.
Oh, Vicky's on the way. How are you doing today, Stewie?
I've had a great day.
Yeah, good.
No, I know. Thank you for bailing me out today, guys. It was going to be a kind of a debut hosting gig from yours truly today. But I got a bit nervous, and so I phoned my old mate Mick. Mick, and Mick said, "I'll help you out, Stewie, lad. Don't you worry."
Yeah, I literally got home. It's 4 a.m. I was out with the wifey, and one thing led to another. We ended up in some drag show in Thailand, and I was like, "Oh, that's a beautiful. What is it? I don't know. It's remember I sent you that photo, and you say, "Oh, yes." So like quiz question number one. Anyway, so I'm here, guys, and we all here, and we all waiting for Vicky to come. We're all waiting for Jarvis to come. You're here, yes. I'm here, and of course we are talking about the Sunday game, like Premier League.
Yes.
And Postecoglou is rolling up to town, and I don't know. Should we feel nervous? I mean, we've seen the news that they're trying to slash the squad, trim the wage bills and stuff like that. Casemiro seems to be back. There seems to be a lot of players coming back. Lisandro Martinez, will they feature? Will they start? We don't know as of yet, which is quite interesting, Stu. I mean, what's your general thoughts and feelings? I mean, do you think we can do a number against them on Old Trafford on Sunday?
Yeah, I do actually. I mean, my lad's going, so he'll be there. He's looking forward to it. But yeah, actually, I do. We've got 2 weeks off, I think it is, after this match.
We do, yeah.
And if Martinez can give us 60 minutes and Casemiro can give us 60 minutes, I think you've got to play them. The lads are going to jet off on holiday. You've got to do. This is what being a professional footballer is all about. Tottenham are going to come quite charged. They're playing some decent stuff at the minute under Postecoglou. I have to say, it wasn't really. I must admit, when he was at Celtic, I was kind of like a bit ambivalent with him. It is what it is. You're up at Celtic, can you do it? And he's opened a lot of people's eyes into the way that expansive football should be played. The thing about them is that you cannot replace Son with Timo Werner. You just can't do it.
Right. I mean, you reckon Timo Werner will get a start?
I think he'll be. I don't know if he'll get a start. I certainly think he'll be on the bench. I do. Yeah. I think they've got zero firepower. Really, Maddison is in it. Richarlison.
Latest Richarlison. What's wrong with the Richarlison? Other
No,
than
Richarlison.
he has the blonde dyed hair.
I was going to say about Richarlison is he couldn't open a crisp packet if the packet was opened. So let alone push a ball in a goal. So
same with John Murta. John Murta can't sell a packet of crisps even if he wanted to on the flea market.
Well, no, that's true. We couldn't give away a packet of crisps, could we? I mean, we can't seem to give. We can't seem to give Martial away, can we?
Can't even give him Martial away. Yeah.
So I think without Son, I think their main threat's gone. I think Maddison, they've got nobody to really tick over it, in my opinion. In the middle, and I don't think they're great at the back. They've lost the greatest defender in Tottenham's history. He's gone to Bayern Munich today, and we worked that one out because I can't work that one out. In Eric Dyer, I don't get that at all. I don't know what Bayern's doing it, but bizarre, absolutely bizarre. But they have brought in this Genoa centre half, haven't we? I believe he's about 6'4". Yeah. Very decent ball accounts, a really good centre half. But I think he only signed tonight, this evening, so I don't see him.
Drago something.
Ivan Drago, yeah. I think he's from your native area, isn't he? Somewhere around Serbia.
Probably.
Something like that. But he looks a big unit. But at ball accounts, is very, very accomplished centre half. What I find dangerous about Tottenham is they've acted. They've acted very, very quickly. They're sitting fourth.
They do. This is so unusual. Them, you know what I mean?
It is. Yeah. They're sitting fourth or fifth in the Premier League. I can't quite remember which. And they've decided we've got to kick on now. And I don't know whether Werner's an astute signing. People will say he's not. I think you've got to look at it and think, you know what? He's got a point to prove, hasn't he, Werner?
100%.
I couldn't cut it at Chelsea. Can I cut it at Tottenham? Where's the best place to cut your teeth? Old Trafford. Yeah. Where is it on it? So
I can ask. Listen, big up everyone that's tuning. I have a little problems with seeing the chat here in StreamYard. Do you see the chat? Because I now have to pop up YouTube chat here to see if anyone is out here. But on StreamYard, I can't see any comments. Can you see that, Stu? Like, do you see anything in your StreamYard? Just for your information, right, guys?
No comments.
No comments. We have a little bit of a technical problems, guys. So, Stu, you might want to sort of pop out the chat and maybe.
I'll pop it up on my phone.
Yeah, 100%. So good evening, everyone. Sanjay's here. Big up to all of you. Glaze is at work. And see Lillis United is here. Everyone is here. Ilir is here. Sanjay, whatever you have. Jarvis Cocker says, give us a retweet. Compost Smurt is here. Jamie Wen, good evening to you as well. Big up to you all. Jarvis Wen, Box is here. Tottenham are missing 6 key players. Son, Madison, Saar, Bissouma, Van der Ven, and Romero. That's a good one. That's a good point. So they're missing 6 players, right?
Yeah. And we've got players coming back, haven't we? So I would take a punt on Leacher for sure. I would.
Oh, yeah.
I'd pop Varane against him. I take it Varane's fit. I've not heard anything to the contrary. I know the press conference. Are you covering the press conference tomorrow, Mick?
Yes, I am covering the press conference.
Yeah. So we'll know about Varane. But I bring Leacher straight back into partner Varane. And I think obviously it's going to be Wan-Bissaka. It's going to be Dallo, isn't it? But I think you've got to play Kobe Mino and Casemiro alongside Bruno, and I think that's a very strong trio in the middle. And then whatever else 100%, happens. 100%, and I'm looking at Edward. Edward Reed was saying personally he wouldn't drop Rashford. Spurs play a very high line, and Rashford is perfect with this match.
I saw that too.
Yeah, it's a good.
Would you agree with that? Would you agree?
It's not a bad point, but would I agree with playing Rashford? I would like 2 things from Ten Hag. I would like to see a more fluid front 3. So I'd like to see Højlund not afraid to go out to the wings and Garnacho, try 10 minutes through the middle, or Rashford 10 minutes through the middle, or whoever we choose to play up there. There would be an argument to suggest, and it's a loose argument, by the way, Mick, that you bring in Mount. You put Rashford out and you bring in Mount for a little bit of creativity. With that said, then that would allow you 2-pronged attack, wouldn't it? With Garnacho and Højlund, and then it would allow you to not flood the midfield, give Bruno his free reign to maybe join those two, and then drop Mount in alongside Mino. Just a thought. I'd be interested to see what the VAR room.
Yeah, I mean, we're operating in the blind, people, if you're tuning in, but I can pop up the YouTube chat to see, but I cannot display it on StreamYard. There's something technical issues what we have. We do apologize. If you do tend to super chat or gift membership, at least we cannot display it on the screen direct, but we can read it in the chat, like, based on like same as what you are doing. So please let us know what you guys are thinking as well. Son, I've decided to, I mean, I like Son 100%. Box, big up to you. Compost Smurf saying hello.
Yeah.
Box is saying, I think we will win. I think so too, because it's Old Trafford, as I said. But I'm not going to get giddy. Like, it is what it is. And hence the thumbnail, play the best team.
Got to.
Does Rashford deserve to start? I mean, we played a lesser, lower team, like we're talking about League One, mid-table team, and I don't know. It was one assist, of course, but too many shots, shooting from everywhere, still running in like a practice dummy, not passing across, and it's too individual. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. 2 goals registered, 3 goals in the season. Of course, if they're going to play high line, we're definitely going to play. Yeah, not just 100% going to play. But I don't know. Scott McTominay, fucking to start him, like, I'm done with him, to be honest. But honest, I mean, you can just express your opinions. Maybe most of United fans see it. Jim Ratcliffe's going to be there in the stand, obviously for the first time in a long time, together with this Dodgy Dave. So if Dodgy Dave Brailsford, you know what I mean, with the in-head cheating stuff like that, with the marginal percentage. So if you're going to do a 6 months review, you don't need that. You need just to watch a few games, stand in the crowd, and see who is hot, who is not, and who will run through brick walls. Like, I know we had a discussion last time with Vicky, like, and she said pretty much that Scott McTominay he's a club ambassador. He speaks a good talk. Yeah, he does. But on the pitch, no zonal awareness. It's just a waste of space. So we might as well just line up with 9 men if Rashford and Scott McTominay starting. But we will see. That's just my opinion. My opinion alone, though. Right?
I think. Edward Reed. Sorry, not Eddie. Apologise. He reckons 99% sure Scott will start. Nathan Millers agrees he'll play every game. Erik ten Hag's manager of, he thinks he's obsessed with the worst players. That's interesting. Ivo Bosic was saying he doesn't think Casemiro is ready, but Box would go with the Casemiro, Mino, and Mount if fit. So that would then leave Bruno as maybe part of the float.
And I can see Nathan Miller's kind of agree that what I was reiterating and saying is like they should already know who needs to go. And I'm so tired of this. Like, if we need to sort of trim down that squad, you can start with the wage bill. Like, you look who is the highest earners. The 3 top earners is Rashford. I mean, if you go by, it is Casemiro, then it's Varane, then it's Rashford. Like, there's the top 3 earners, right?
No, 100%. Bad news, everybody. Vicky can't make it.
No way.
Yeah, she's got a personal thing she's got to deal with.
Oh no, guys, sorry.
So she sends her apologies. And she sends a big hug to everybody in the VAR room, Mick, Jarvis, and Stu. She does apologise.
Things happens. The last minute things happens, and if you listen to this, do apologise, but do take care of yourself. Family and personal matters first, and we have a very understandable community as well. You're gonna break a few hearts here, but it's okay. You will see you soon again, guys.
Well,
sorry about that.
We'll be seeing plenty of Vicky. She's absolutely tremendous. She's very honourable, like yourself. Very, very honourable. Like the VAR room, very honourable. Yeah. Lovely.
She's great. She's great ball knowledge in general. Jarvis Cocker is still trying to put his kids to sleep, but he's saying Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez in training today, so they might be on the bench. We see. It's time to put them in. I miss them, Stu. I miss them so much. I mean, you know how much Lisandro Martinez, what his wage is per week?
No,
120.
Oh, that's right. He was low, wasn't he? Yeah, but 120 grand. But he wanted to come to the club, didn't he?
He wanted, You know, 120, and he will run through brick walls. He's the Licha warrior, 100%, right?
He for me is, you know me, Mick. I'm as old school as it gets. Like I don't disguise it. I don't dress it up. I like a hard player. I like somebody who enjoys the dark arts and will put his foot in. And
100%, mate.
I love Licha for that. I really do. And I think he does complement Varane very, very well. Varane is a more Rolls Royce type of player. But if you've noticed, Mick, and I know you have because we spoke about it, and I'd be interested to see what the VAR room think. If you take Varane's injuries aside, I've noticed a more dominant aerial Varane since Maguire's been out the team. He's the one who's taking responsibility.
Oh, yeah, he has.
He's been superb in the air.
He's thriving, yeah.
And it's not really been his game. Jamie Wayne's just saying, sorry, Mick. Mick, she's a great find. Their football knowledge is top tier. There you go.
Big up.
Big up, Jamie. Big up, Jamie. You're absolutely right, mate. Her football knowledge is top tier. It really is.
Injuries do happen in the last minute, and we have to make a substitution. So yeah, that's it. So that was unpredictable. Lucky that I came in to step in here to be with you. Otherwise, you would sit here rumble by yourself. Jarvis is running late. Anyone that wants to come in and have a say, we can definitely post the link later on. So what do we expect, guys? Let's start with this. What do we expect? Spurs rolling in. Apparently, there's some injuries. They're missing 6 key players. There's AFCONs as well. Like, you know, are they missing anyone out for AFCON? I think.
Are they missing? What's his name? Casada? No, he's Colombian, isn't he? So
Colombian, yeah.
Yeah. So no, are they missing anyone for AFCON?
Yeah.
I can't think actually.
Yeah. Captain Cayman saying I actually prefer. Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading a comment there. Captain Cayman saying I actually prefer two tall centre backs. That is the old school days. Like, you know, if you're talking about old school, 2 tall centre backs. So even when you're talking about playing a libero, right? So, cool.
I'd be interested. I'd be interested as to why, Captain Caveman, if you wouldn't mind elaborating on that. I'd be interested to know why.
Sure.
Yeah.
Listen, again, we do apologize. We cannot see the chat. We're in the studio at the moment. There's some technical issues. So if you do tend to super chat or anything, gift memberships, the only way we can see it is on the same chat as what you're seeing. So we do apologize that we cannot display it, but big up to you all and thank you for the understanding. Mark, producer, if you want to also come in and have your say, please have your say. You have the link as well. Please, welcome. And we're also waiting for Jarvis. But listen, I'm going to start with this. We have a cat here, which is catastrophe. You can hear him as well. So all shit breaking loose right now for me. Yes, Biscuit. We rescued a cat on the street. He was very bad. We took care of him. We've been giving him antibiotics, and now he's alive and kicking. You can hear him.
Absolutely, yes, you can.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely amazing. 15 likes, everybody. If we could get that up to 50, as there's 40 TV watching, that would be tremendous. We want more, obviously, but
of course, we're not going to get greedy like the Glazers. But if you do watching right now, smash a like. I know it's late where you are. I don't know what you're doing, but thank you for tuning in. And if you do tune in afterhands, remember, the thumbs up, it's what matters for YouTube right now. It's not about how many subscribers. They don't care YouTube anymore. They care about, you know, how many people are liking the videos. And this is the way their YouTube algorithm is kind of distributing. Yes, buddy, I hear you. Sorry about that.
Is he hungry? Is he? Or?
No, he was just fed. I don't know what he wants now. Like, you know, he's an old cat. Like, you know, I think we don't know his age, but he's like, it's a male cat. He's about 10 years old, something like that. The problem is we already have a male cat in the home, and it's just going to be a nightmare, like, you know, to introduce 2 male cats to each other. It's not possible. So, you know, we're thinking just to, like, you know, find a home for him or something like that. I don't know. But my wife doesn't really want to let go. He's such a nice, cuddly little cat, like an orange cat, like, you know, orange.
Nothing wrong with that. So Vicky's got a cat called Rio.
Rio?
Ferdinand. So she had 2 cats together. One was called Vidic, but Vidic unfortunately didn't make it. So,
and Nuruddin from Nuruddin, he's got
he's got a cat, hasn't he? Yeah.
Skolzy.
Yes, that's him. That's it. Captain Caveman's come back. He says Varane and Evans have been doing well. I like height generally in a team. We're relatively a short team. Yeah, I get that. I can see the point in that. Also, we lack physicality, so I can kind of understand where he's coming from on that. Ivan Bosic, by the way, was saying that. Sorry, Box was saying Basuma and Sarr are missing for Tottenham. I presume he means African Cup of Nations have gone.
What do we expect, guys? What do you guys expect in the VR room, the chat room? I think, barring up what the thumbnail is saying, I want Ten Hag to line up his best players, and that means what is your preferred starting lineup? We can pick that together when Jarvis comes into the studio. Obviously, we were hoping to have Vicky, but Vicky had some injuries in the last minute. She pulled a hamstring, apparently. Like, she's been doing boxing in the morning, and she was doing swimming and trying to get fit. But, when you overtrain, it's so easy to have some injuries. Jokes aside, you know what I'm talking about. And speaking about injuries, of course, we are getting cured. We we heard the indication from Ten Hag last Friday that every new player that comes back from injuries, he sees them as new signings. And there's kind of an indication that the Glazers are not going to, they're still in charge. They're not going to do anything in the market. It's all about trimming the squad, trimming down the wage bill. And if we would be lucky to get a loan deal, we're probably going to get it at the very end of the window, typically with John Murtaugh there at the helm. Do you reckon, Stewie, we're going to get any reinforcement in terms of the striker? Or you reckon?
Yes. Here's one for you, Mick. Ed Barrett. I've just joined the stream. Is it an optimistic vibe or a realistic one?
Both. We are very optimistic.
Yeah,
I'm a positive realist. Yeah. I call it for what it is. I don't tend to... Of course, as you love the club, you love the team. Of course, you are delusional sometimes, but you have to be as a fan, right? You have to believe.
Yeah.
Passionate red, of course. But realistically speaking, yes. You got to look at we call a spade a spade. Got to look at realism, and I tend to look at 360 holistic perspective, and I see football, from a 360 view, right? You look at everything that goes around, not only the manager, the root cause analysis of everything, and you kind of knit it together. And that's my opinion alone. But what we do here is we really appreciate everyone's opinion to be real. Whatever your opinion is we respect. We might disagree to agree, but at the end of the day, we have the most positive, realistic community that we built over the past year at least. So hope that answers your question. And speaking about real, you want to see something real? Where is real? What is real? Is it Ghost?
Here he is. Look at that.
There he is.
Look at that.
Jarvis.
Male model material.
Hey, Jarvis.
Am I lagging or
How
what?
you doing?
No, you're okay.
Are you
now,
lagging?
I think.
Am I lagging or what?
Yeah.
No, right.
Okay. Good. Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. Yeah,
No,
I
you're
have a son
lagging.
who didn't want to go to bed, so I had a little struggle, but now he's sleeping like a... Nah, I'm lagging. Jesus.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
no, you're okay.
Okay,
you're
2
lagging.
seconds.
Ed's come back, Mick. He was just saying just tonight, not in general. And it's not. No, it's not tonight. We are general. This is how we are.
Ask
this is
people
how
in
we
the,
are. Ed.
Ed Barrett, please ask people in the chat room. They will tell you. So you're in a good, safe place.
Great
But
to
also
have you.
Yeah, but also curious to understand the reasoning behind your question as well. I mean, we always apply logic and reasoning, and at the end of the day, we want you to use your common sense as well. We always try to provide a sort of a balanced approach in everything that we do. Right? So I hope that answers your question. And yeah, I mean, you have to excuse me as well. For me, I'm sitting right now. What is the time? It's like 4:30 in the morning.
We deserve better, says Meow Mick.
What is the? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we
guys,
deserve better, goes Meow.
Yeah. Meow. Yes. Yeah, that is realistic. I have a meow cat here, taking care of him as well. So anyway, so let's talk football.
Yeah.
Total football experience.
So am I good now? I'm not lagging anything. You can hear me.
You're
You can
good.
see me.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
good. And there's no chat here, so we're working in
We're
the blind.
running in the operating blind.
Working on that.
Yeah,
You're working
I
manually.
have
do you
my
want me
own
to share
plan
screen?
B right here.
Oh,
want me
I
to
see. Ed was talking. Sorry to cut you off, guys. Ed's been talking about too much negativity in spaces that he's been listening to reference Manchester United. Well, listen, Ed, welcome. Because you won't get that here. We're not negative.
We don't.
We
never do that.
We give a balanced opinion. Yeah, we give a balanced opinion, and sometimes we get angry, don't we, guys? If we feel it's right to be angry, but it's always balanced, Ed. So you're very welcome. Very welcome.
You're well welcome. I know Twitter Spaces can be very toxic.
Profanities. Yeah. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but we tend to have a balanced approach, and we don't do sensational news or sensational clickbait stuff. Like, we call it, we are passionate Reds. I'm a patriot Red, so I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. But at the same time, we do apply humor. We do apply, real football opinions, facts. And it's a feel-good environment. It's a feel-good vibe community. So welcome. And personally, I hate toxic channels and toxic Twitters. I stopped doing Spaces a long time ago. I'm not actually. I don't have time on Spaces anymore. Are you on Spaces, guys, anymore?
No.
No.
Yeah, well, I sometimes listen to it, but while I'm bored, sometimes they have some late night Spaces. You can listen to a lot of people, but it frustrates me because I can't comment and say anything. I need to join in, and well, it's not always in the mood for joining in. But yeah, sometimes there's good Spaces. So if you haven't tried them, I would recommend people to go on them, but not all of them.
Yeah, it depends.
If we speak about Spaces, the only thing is that Elon Musk, if you're listening to this, please further develop this app. It's so old, right? Your phone is constantly dying, getting overheated. Spaces could be so much better if you can integrate it to a desktop environment as well. Because you're sitting there with a mobile phone. So if you can have Spaces on your desktop and you can speak like that in a normal microphone, that'd be so much better, to be honest, right? So yeah. Anyway, the chat is in the blind. We have a cat meowing, catastrophe, and listen. We deserve better. I can see here. How do you feel about Sancho? We deserve better. Saying I feel decided that Sancho and Ten Hag could not resolve their differences. Biscuit, I can hear you. Sorry, you're a cute cat, but we're actually having a live stream. What should I name him? Not Biscuit. I need to name him. Guys, come up with a good. Maybe we should call him Vida. Yeah. Vida. That sounds good. Vida. Licha. Yeah, that's a guy that cats will react to. Licha. Vida. Licha. Vida is cool. I love Vida anyway. Garfield, he's orange. Yeah, I know. We already tried that. Even my wife was trying to call him an orange, and I said that's so standard. I want something more masculine, Vida or Vichy. Anyway, Butcher, Captain Cayman says Butcher. Call him Eric. Cat called Eric. William Colony is laughing. Nathan Million saying Sancho and this team believes that. Guys, this is so unusual. We cannot operate the chat. I'm just looking like old school. Anyway, so do excuses. We normally not like this flimsy, guys. So structure. Jarvis, talk to us. What do you see?
We can talk a little bit. I have a little topic I just want to discuss with you guys because we have seen the last day a little bit rumbling about Isaac Hansen Oren, and me and Mark have had a lot of discussions about it. I don't know if you have heard the latest, but he wants out, as I have understand. I read in the Norwegian newspaper his personal trainer. He has a Norwegian personal trainer called Jonas Johansen. And he said he would recommend Isaac to leave the club because he's 19 and he needs vital game time. We know that Isaac came out with this, let's say a week ago, at least before the Wigan game. And he wasn't even involved with the Wigan game. He wasn't on the bench. We had 2 goalkeepers on the bench and Donny, who was going on loan. So for me, it looks like Ten Hag is punishing Isaac because he stepped out of line and demanded a playing time. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a beef between Ten Hag and Isaac? And if there is, are Ten Hag again in a fight with a player because he's not following his principles?
I would just say that it's not just on Ten Hag because Ten Hag has coaches and Ten Hag has, assistant coaches and stuff that picks the team, right? So You know, a lot of players want game time, but unfortunately, they have to deserve it. And it's frustrating as it is. Like, you know, and I can understand that you want to move, you want a low move because you want to play football 100%. And then you have on the other hand, according to my opinion, it's also media as well that is driving this agenda as well. Like, you know, so I don't know how much this is infused or what's true, what's not. Lately, I just become immune. Whatever I read, I just take it with a pinch of salt. And that's my opinion. I don't know. It's hard to say when you don't really know what's really going on. No, Stu, what's your take on this?
Yeah, very similar actually, Mick. I at this time of year, certainly around transfer windows, the agents have got to start earning their pennies, and you do get a lot of hearsay. You do get a lot of provocative kind of text and words that are put out into the Twitter sphere, the stratosphere, to enable to unsettle the club, enable to other clubs to get interested, see what kind of calls they're getting, and go from there. The issue I've got, and I think I'm with Mick on this one, Jarvis, is that I don't know how good this kid's been too much in terms of his playing time with the under-23s, under-21s. Has he ripped up any trees?
Saw him in pre-season though.
Yeah, I've seen him play a couple of times. He's clearly a talented footballer, but he's
not 100%.
We're not hearing anything too much about him like we are with Dan Gore, for example.
Yeah, he was Rushmane. I can see your comment. He was promised. Isak was promised the minutes in the first team, and all I know is he's compared to the next Iniesta. He's the mini Iniesta, like, you know. And Jarvis knows more about him than I do.
He's from my hometown, Tromsø. So I know a lot about him, you know, and I've been following this kid since he was, I would say, 12, 13 years old. And he was in the newspaper even then because he was such a talent. And he's extremely composed on the ball. His technique is fantastic. In a way, his technique reminds me a little bit of Phil Foden, you know, like almost perfect technique, and he's very composed on the ball. So, but he lacks a little bit when it comes to physicality. So he gets a little bit too easily pushed away. But as I see it, two things I want to say about this case with Isak Hansen is the first thing is I heard rumors that Pep wanted him. His best mate is Oscar Bob, who plays from Man City youth, and I would say that tells you something if Pep's interested in Isak. And another thing is his contract runs down this summer, and he hasn't signed a new prolonged.
Because I heard he's been receiving better offers, and he wants to stay at United. What I heard, but he wants a sort of a little bit of increase. And you know the United situation right now. That's what I heard. That was the only last thing that I heard. Now, of course, United know they have a talent on their hand. Like, you know, I would hate to lose him if it's the next Iniesta. You know what I mean? So, I'm sure that they will not let him go. I'm sure they can come to a solution. But everything boils down to the end of the January window, what we managed to loan out and sell out and ship out, I guess, as well, right?
I think it will. I think Ajax. I know he's been linked with Ajax. I think
Ajax. He can go for a loan, perhaps.
Yeah, he could go for a loan there. Send him out for 6 months. And maybe 100%. Even the first 6 months of next season as well. I'm kind of with Mick on this one. I have heard rumours about Pep Guardiola. That's been going for a while now, actually, hasn't it? Yeah. A good month or two. He needs to. The problem with football in general is you've got to be able to push yourself forwards by what you do with your brain and your feet. It's not always about how much of a scream and a stink that your agent kicks up. You've got to take that responsibility. And I always worry that with youth, Manchester United is, and I've said this before, is the most difficult club to actually bring youth through. When you look at the talent that comes through our conveyor belts, and when they actually hit the first team, we don't have that body of players. When you take Maino apart, by the way, just take Maino out of this equation, and Dan Gore to an extent, and Ganacek, don't have this body of players that an Isak can look up to, and there isn't a player in there that could go to Isak and say, listen, mate. And with Sancho, by the way, they should have done this with Sancho. Listen, mate, you either pull your finger out or go, because we're not interested in a middle of the road guy.
Yeah.
We want an all-in guy. We don't want a middle of the road guy. But Sancho today, and I know you want to talk about it, Mick, and I know you're going to want to talk about Jarvis. But
No, I'm just going into the comments here, and I see Nathan Miller saying we need to keep him at all costs. We have no money.
Yeah.
I would sell McTominay now. He's not doing anything apart from hiding. Play Hansen, and I totally agree. Like, you know, I've been hearing a lot of things, and if we're gonna build the future, I mean, you can look at the academy players and what they're earning, like, you know, and you can build it from there. Start slashing the wage bill, like, you know, from 115 below, and there you go. You have the best academies coming through, like a class of 92. It's the similar classes coming through right now, and Aaron Hansen is one of them, 100%, right? So they'd be damn shame to let him go.
Yeah,
so I think
he
it's
is,
an
yeah.
asset. You can put him out to a loan for 6 months to Ajax. That'd be great, or any other club. But don't sell him, please. Just loan him out to give him, to please him to get some development and game time, Jarvis, as well.
Yeah, he needs game time. He's at that stage of his career. You know, he's 19 years old. He needs to game time to develop. You know, we have seen a lot of these super talents play for the under 21s up until 23 years of age, and when they finally comes to men's football, they're not good enough. So it takes away a lot of their career. So now is the time for him to try a loan for me, and he shouldn't accept sitting on the bench or never get the chance. So for me, I hope he spread his wings and find another club. Hopefully, it's a loan that we can give him an extension,
Yeah,
or
similar
that we sell him with the buyback clause with 25-30%, and we can get him on the cheap if he becomes the player we want.
But same in that case, is the same development for Facundo Pellistri, like on PSV Eindhoven, like, you know, send him out there with no obligation to buy. They're willing to take on his wages to play for the remaining of the season, and then he can return back. And I think this is a good idea, right? Because these are the kids of the future. This is what we got to build on, because we do have an aging squad, right? If you look at Bob from Ericsson, you know, he's taking the young academy players' spots.
It's not too bad, Mick. I think we have an average age of 26.56 something. So it's pretty average, I would say, if you compare to the other squads in the Premier League. But some of our most important players are older players, and that's worrying. You know, we have Casemiro, we have Varane, and Ericsson. You know, they are at the end of their careers.
But at the same time, you have a bang average player, like, I'm not going to mention names, they're blocking the development for the kids to get a chance. So you know what I mean? And they're much better, like, you know, the ability. So what's the punt? Like, you know, why play Scott McTominay? Show us what these kids are all about. Like, you know, if we're talking about Aaron Hansen or Dan Gore, for instance, you know, we want to see what they are all about, like, you know. And it was so typical when we played, like, you know, Wigan. I expected at least to see some kids, but no, you went out to play almost the strongest team, and we barely got through, like, with 2-0, like, you know, had 33 shots on target, 2 went in, like, you know. Yeah. So they can certainly not do any worse, to be honest.
No, I think he went strong with Wigan because he had to make it through to the rank from what man. But look, I'm with you guys. I think youth deserves to be given a chance. I think we've got a really good
the Wigan game it worries me a little bit, since we had two reserve goalkeepers and Donny. You know, I think we could have done better.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand it. Yeah, it didn't make sense.
In the Cup in the first rounds, we play lower league opposition, and there should be a time to play the youth, and that's the time. So for me, I don't understand Ten Hag's way of picking the team in the Wigan game. For me, it's a little bit frustrating. I wish that he would pick Isak, especially in that game.
Yeah,
interesting. True. I mean, I'm looking. I do want to see him. I want to see, you know, what the hype is all about with him. I've seen him a couple of times, but he, you know, that's it really. The trouble with under 21s and under 23s in the UK.
I can agree with the comments here. I read the comments here. Sorry again, if you're coming in new, our chat section is broke here on StreamYard. We can only read what you guys are posting on YouTube by YouTube itself. But I agree with Nathan Miller to see if they sell Pellistri, I know one of these talent players, be very angry. He's a brilliant player, always make an impact. And if we talk Pellistri, 100%. As soon as Pellistri comes in, barring it's like 5-10 minutes, he always changes the dynamics of that squad, right? So I agree. I totally agree with you, my friend, there as well. But we're gonna talk football, guys. We're gonna talk Spurs. We've been talking here about 40 minutes about how do we line up, who is our best, play the best team. Simple as that, Ten Hag. Or guys, what do you think? Right? We know the situation with the Ange. He's been doing quite well. It's been like up and down a little bit, but they're finding the form. But now they have like 6 key players out. They're rolling into Old Trafford. The crowd is going to be up for it because they haven't, it's the first kind of Premier League game of this 2024 at home. So, guys, Jarvis, what do you reckon? Like, should we just go into the lineup, or do you have a fixed idea in your head that you're thinking about, like, how Ten Hag might line up, or knowing that you might have a Licha available, you might have a Casemiro available, Mason Mount available, XYZ?
Yeah, we come to a stage. This is a must-win game against Spurs. If we want to have any chance for top 4, I don't think even a draw is enough. We need to win this game. So I'm 100% sure that Ten Hag will play his strongest team. There's no doubt about it. But the question
what is his strongest team?
What's his strongest team? Is it McTominay? Is it Rashford? For me, I don't think so. But I don't know. What do you think, Stu? I saw you have an opinion on Rashford and McTominay.
Yeah, I do. I go. Look, I bite the bullet. I bring in Casemiro. I bring in Licha straight back. I do. They've been on the pitch now for the grass for 2 weeks. We've got 2 weeks off now. They're going to fly away on holiday on Monday. Most of them will be. They've got no international commitments because we're on a winter break, Jarvis, in the Premier League. And so I would play them. If you get 60 minutes out of Casemiro, 60 minutes out of Licha, we are in that game. It's happy days, as it really is.
Yeah.
But here's the surprise for me, Jarvis, and here's the surprise. I can tell by your eyes already. You're waiting for it. I would bring in Mount. And I would, I bring in Mount if he's fit. Again, I would bring him in, and I would drop Rashford, and I would play Bruno, Garnacho, and Højlund as a floating 3. And what I mean by that is Højlund and Garnacho can split the 2 centre halves, so they can almost position themselves and camp themselves between the 2 centre half and a fullback each, and allow Bruno that central position, or Bruno can occupy a place where Højlund can then have that central position. A lot of people won't agree with me. They won't like it. It's because they don't like Mount, and they won't. And I get it. And that's what I would do, because I think you've got to do something different. I think they're weak in the middle at the minute, Spurs. They're weak up top. Richarlison couldn't get into a crisp packet that was open, let alone score a goal.
And Son is not available.
Yeah, exactly. Son's in the Asia Cup, isn't he? Basuma's gone to the AFCON alongside Sarr, they were saying in the VAR room. So yeah, I would do something different, Jarvis. Somewhere along the line, right? Mount's got to click as a Manchester United player. He's got to. And when you've got mine covered by Casemiro and a bit of flexibility with Mount, because Mount allows Bruno to drift with Højlund, with Garnacho, with penetration. You've then got the wings of Dalot, and you've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and I think you've got to go Licha and Varane, pal, if I'm being honest. Yeah. I think that's what you've got to do. That's just my
opinion. What about Johnny Evans? He's been superb the last month, I would say. Johnny Evans, yeah. Does he deserve to start?
No. I think that's a great question. But I always view football, Jarvis, in my own eyes and what I find acceptable with football. I do. I've always have done. And if I'm a better player and I'm a more accomplished player, I'm not saying that Johnny Evans isn't. Let me be clear about this. I'm not having a pop at Johnny.
He's a red.
I think he's playing very well. I think you've got to get Licha back in. He's got 2 weeks worth of rest. Get him playing. In my opinion, that's what it is.
Stu, a question for you. The play. I play the game. You play the game. As soon as the player starts training on grass or starting, he's ready to go. That's like, and he's been away But as soon as they touch grass, start training on grass, they're match fit or ready to play at least, just for educational purposes as well. So
Yeah.
it might be so that you're saying they might start or they might be featured on the bench, but I think they will get game time if they are available, Jarvis, as well. Right.
See, what you just said there, sorry to butt in quickly, Mick, what you just said there is a massively important fact, and it would have gone over a lot of people's heads, is that it's a membrane on the foot, memorizing what it's like to play football on the grass. It's ridiculous. It sounds stupid. I know it does, but it's true, because they're rehabilitating in the gym. They're rehabilitating on 5G, swimming pools, hard surfaces. That first step on the grass, getting that kind of feeling back into it, and the brain to foot connection again on grass, it's also different. And that's why, and you've hit the nail on the head. As soon as you hit that grass, you as a footballer think you're ready. I'm on grass, because that's the key element, is the brain to foot connection on grass. So that's a really, really vital and brilliant point.
Excellent.
Mick,
Sorry,
Mick, one question for you, Mick. Can you read the private chat? Because it says that YouTube doesn't support comments in private videos. Is this video marked as private?
No.
Are you sure?
Am I sure? Okay.
Give it a try and see if we can fix this.
It's not
chat.
private. It's not private at all.
Read the private chat, and I have posted the comment there that came up when I tried to post.
Okay. There is something wrong in the case with YouTube. Let me just disappear for a moment.
Yeah.
Go to the
Try
YouTube
to fix
studio.
it, so we can interact a little bit more. Because I feel like kind of naked without the VAR room, because they are.
Yeah. It happened once before, Jarvis. I'm just going to remove myself and go in the stealth mode. Hang on a second.
Yeah, so it's really interesting, the grass conundrum. It really is, because you're on totally different footwear again. You won't have worn studded boots for, in Leach's case, probably 5 months. You know, and people forget all this. They don't get it. It doesn't kind of calculate, and it's really interesting, that conundrum. You'd have seen yourself when you, in Norway, when you're doing 6 months indoors, because you can't play outside because it's too cold. And because at the minute you can throw boiling water in the air and it comes out of snow.
Yeah. It's super crazy.
And then as soon as you get onto grass,
it's a different type of game.
You've got to readjust, haven't you? Yeah, you've got to readjust. So it's really interesting. The VAR room is saying that if the panel is as honest as me, they'll tell us right now that only Varane, Canacho, Mino are good enough to be in a proper United team. Just saying. That's Edward Reed, and I can see where he's going with that. Me and you had a conversation about Varane, Jarvis, as you well know, and
I remember
2 years ago on a different channel, and I made the point that as good as a defender he is, he'll never be as good as at Manchester United, and that's due to the personnel around him. I think Martinez coming in was to help Varane flourish, and I think it has to an extent. Has it really worked? Varane isn't the Varane that we saw 5 years ago, is he? 6 years ago, but he didn't have, and we don't have a Pepe around to stick his head in, and we don't have a Ramos around. But I think Edwards makes a valid point. I don't know if it's just those. I think there's maybe a couple more. Dan Gore, for example, who's taking on the edge. You know, maybe this Isaac. You know, maybe he'll get a wake up call. Maybe he'll get a shake from Erik ten Hag over the next couple of weeks, and he decides Manchester United is the place to be. It's just kind of interesting. But that's my thoughts. What would you play Sunday? Just out of interest.
Well, I love this young kid, Kwambala. I would try him, because you know the problem with all of our centre backs at the moment is
we're back.
We have the chat back.
We have the chat back.
Pearson here coming in with the chat to say, if available, I would go with Mainu, Casemiro, Bruno in the midfield.
Okay,
That's
I can see that.
I agree. I think most of the Man United fans agree when it comes to this. We have missed Casemiro and we have missed Licha. But I would be a little bit more careful with Licha because he's been out for a long time. He hasn't played football for almost a year. You got to remember that.
Yes, that's
It's not
right.
that
Yeah.
easy. It's not that easy. You can just come in and start performing right away. So I would actually keep him on the bench for 3 to 4 games and play him like 10-15 minutes at the end of the game, just to let him have the feel of the game and get back and get the right amount of training. Because I think Licha is the kind of guy, his mentality. He won't tell the coaches or the medical staff if his foot hurts a little bit. He will just play through the pain. And I don't want to risk him being out for another 6 months. So take it slow. That's my opinion.
No, I can see your logic in that. I can. If we hadn't got this winter break, then I wouldn't risk him anyway. Myself, I wouldn't risk him on the bench. I think the winter break might just play into our hands. We've got to get these guys playing. The problem with the winter break for the likes of Casemiro and the likes of Martinez at the moment is unless they decide they don't want to go, and send themselves away, they'll come in and they'll try and get their fitness up. It's a difficult one, really, because when you're injured, all you want to do is get back. That's all. Your focus is nothing more. I've got to get back and playing. And if you feel within yourself that you're able to play, and I know I would. I know what I'm like because I'm an idiot, completely not a moron. I'd be lacing up the boots and I'd be gaffer.
Yeah.
I better be on that team sheet, because that's my expectation. Yeah, well, I don't care. My expectation is I'm out there Saturday. I want to wave to the fans, thank them for the support, put in a performance. Get our club back on a footing that we need. Now, I think you're right. It's only what I would do. It's only what I would play that team. I think you're right. I think it's likely to be an Evans-Varane partner. This is the team I think it will be. That's the team I want him to go with. And I want him to go with it because I think it's more fluid than the team I think it will be. I think he'll go with this. I think the back four picks itself. So I think it's Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, Varane and Evans. And obviously Onana, I presume.
Yeah. I think Onana is still in Manchester.
Yeah, so I think that
will go right away to the Cameroon AFCON squad, and the day after he will play another game. Yeah. So
So I like what you say about Kwabala. I like him. He is going to be a very, very solid centre half. But I do believe it'll be Evans and Varane. I also believe, it pains me to say it, it will be Mino, it will be McTominay, it will be Bruno, and I think it will be Rashford, Rasmus, and I think it will be Garnacho. That's what I think it will be. Yeah. But I think we're hamstrung. So my team of Evans, I know again, Evans. This is what I would do. This is just what I would do. It's Evans and Licha. Varane and Licha, Casemiro. That's a wonderfully balanced middle three as your defensive unit. You've got the beautiful silky skills of Mino. I can't. You know me, Jarvis. I don't. I just love the guy. I think he's a brilliant player. You've got his wonderful skills, but you've got the industry and the work rate of Mounts. Take Rashford out of the equation, and I think with Bruno, Rasmus, and Garnacho, you've got a terrific. Oh, good idea. Yeah, you got a terrific front three that will enable Bruno to drop back into midfield if needed. Jarvis, but also add to the attack of Højlund and Garnacho. You've also got the ability there, again, Jarvis, I think, for them to split the two centre halves and allow Bruno to penetrate the middle, or Garnacho to penetrate the middle with pace, or Højlund with power. I know people won't agree with me, and I get it, and I do. I understand people's. Oh, somebody's been gifted a membership, I think, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry. Apologise. And let me just quickly finish. I think that's what could happen, Jarvis, and that's why I picked the 11 that I did. But I don't think it'll be the 11, by the way. But that was my thought process behind it.
Yeah. Anyway, big up Rushmano for gifting.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, just wanted to say, Rushmano, you're a legend. For gifting. Sorry for we operating in the blind. We have to literally share screen of your chat, but thanks to that we can discover. We took that under the radar. Rushmano gifted 20 membership, and the members became Stu Wooley. That's already in the panel. I don't know how that happened.
Thank you, Rushmano.
SBK became a member. Sofian Jumat became a member. Sam was gifted also member. Rajat V was a gifted member. Nikki Cadogan. Big up, Nikki. Good time, long time no speak, my friend. Also gifted a membership. And my cat keeps meowing along, saying he also wants a membership. Ophelia was gifted a membership. Adam Harris was gifted a membership. Jim D64, Captain Caveman, Jody Sports, John Marlowe, Peter Jerich, Mark Brooks was gifted a membership. AK was gifted a membership. That is a hell of a lot of memberships. Big applause for you. And you deserve something better. You deserve a big applause, to be honest. Thank you so much.
Oh, my God.
That's it. We're having technical problems with YouTube today.
There's a couple you missed off there, Mick. JP was gifted a membership.
Well,
Satjinder, by the looks of it. Sakuka won. Royden Frost. Yeah.
Royden Frost, Matish was gifted. Royden Frost, Bri J was also gifted. Sasuke One, Satchinder, big up, guys. Thank you, Rushmano, Matt. What a legend you are! Thank you so much, and we do apologize for YouTube playing up on us. It's not on our end. I checked YouTube; everything is okay. It must be StreamYard, and Scotty at the wheel is here. Sorry, you said you're late, but you're always. You know what, Scotty at the wheel? You know what to say. All the fine horses always arrive late, so big up to you. Ed Barrett is here. Rushmano, you're a legend. Thank you, Rushy. Thank you so much for your 20 membership. We are a full squad. We can now go play Spurs, right, guys? With those 20 memberships.
Yeah, we could. Yeah. What do you think of that then, Jarvis? Do you think that would be workable? It's just a general conversation.
Yeah, for the starting 11 and Ten Hag's game plan, I think you're very spot on, Stu. As always, you have a good footballing knowledge. So actually, I don't have too much to add. When it comes to the fullbacks, a little bit worried for the left side when we have Dalot there. I'm not sure who. Did you prefer Rashford on the left winger?
Yeah, well, I didn't want Rashford. I went with Bruno to play as a floating kind of 10 in behind Højlund and Garnacho. My issue with Ten Hag is, and I'm really interested in what the VAR room's saying. I knew Jarvis as well, because equally you have thank you very much for saying that, but you equally have a great depth of knowledge alongside our good friend Mick, and producer Mark is in the background. Big wave to Mark. But what I would say is we keep going and we keep doing the same thing. So if you're Ange Postecoglou or you're a Sean Maloney or you're Mark or you're Jarvis, as a manager, we got Man United this week. Yeah, so they're going to play a 4-3-3. You've got to stop that at some point. You've got to take a gamble. You've got to take a risk. Now, he's scared. He's petrified, isn't he, to lose a game of football? And I get that. But we're losing on a 4-3-3. Why not just, as you said, why not bring Willie Kawblala in? Yeah, why not bring him in? Why not bring Isak in? Why not bring Dan Gore in? I know Mark particularly is a huge fan of Dan, and I get that. I can see all of that, and I do get it. But I'm not saying Mason Mount is the epitomised option, but he will offer us something different that Spurs won't be geared up towards. And I think Bruno's more dangerous when he floats, when he's got that free roll that Eriksen allows him, which Mount would do. And I just think with Mano in there, you've got that wonderful gift of youthful exuberance. You've got industry, you've got guile, and that's what you need for that kind of midfield. And that's why I think it would be a better workable solution than sticking Rashford left, who you know what he's going to do. We all know what he's going to do. And Garnacho right, who's obviously a lot more potent. One thing I will say is, and Jimmy, I thought Jimmy was going to hang me the other day when I came on and said I thought it was criminal that Højlund didn't get a brace. Because I do, I stand by that. I think it's criminal. Højlund has got to step up. He's got to step up on Sunday. If those balls are delivered, he's got to step up and he's going to put them away. But that's the only reason I would go with that team, Jarvis. And that would be my explanation as to why.
I like that explanation. I see people in the chat. I see here Mark Davis comes in. He said drop Rashford for Sunday. A couple of other guys commented. I see here Ivo Bosic comes in and he calls out Mark Davis and say, if you don't play Rashford against Spurs high line, you never play him. So yeah, that's the thing. It depends on Ten Hag's game plan against Spurs. If we are going to play I would say a semi-low block to mid block and counter-attack Spurs, we know we can expose them because they attack with a lot of men and they have a high line. So it shouldn't be too difficult to try to do the same thing as we did against Chelsea. We had a lot of room for our pacey players to run into. So in a way, it would make sense to play Rashford against Spurs.
If you were Postecoglou, though, and this is just a general question, I'm Postecoglou. I'm in the dugout, and I recognise Garnacho and I recognise Rashford's pace. Then I'm not playing a high line. I'm going to play maybe a hybrid system where I'll push up when I can, but I'll play relatively deep when I need to. Mm-hmm. So I won't play that high line. I get everything, but this is, football is so much about a game of chess, isn't it? Football is so much about looking at the opposition and finding what you can do. People talk about tactics all the time, but in football, guys, there's not that many actual real tactics to get behind a team or to draw a team out. There's only 2 or 3 ways of doing it, isn't there? So if I'm Postecoglou, I would be looking at that and I'm thinking, well, we know what Garnacho is going to do to us because he's just going to rip us a new one if we give him the space in behind because he's done it all season. Same with Højlund to an extent. If we allow him to attack us from deep, if we get those 10 yards, he's going to try and bulldoze us through. And Rashford, again, equally, if he does get him behind, you're not going to catch him. So I would play. Again, this is just me, guys. I would play a type of hybrid system. So I think you've got to confuse Postecoglou. What do you think, Mark? It's just an opinion.
Yeah. In a way, like I feel like you're right about it because I feel like maybe we could bring Rashford on in the second half. We give them something different to think about. Start Palestri on the right, start Garnacho off the left. Let's do something different off the right. Maybe they wouldn't expect that. You know what I mean? So then they'd be like, okay, let's play a high line. But Garnacho could get behind the high line. But if we play with Rashford, they're gonna easily just be like, you know what, we can't play the high line. Just so maybe you do something different. Like, I'm not a fan of Mount, but if he plays Mount, that's something different. It might work. You know what I mean? They're not gonna expect these things. Bringing Casemiro back in, straight in would be the best option for me in midfield next to Bruno and Mainu. He's gonna have the help of Mainu. He's gonna have Bruno. And we all know Casemiro is one of those players that needs game time to get himself back into playing form. So I would say start Casemiro, start Garnacho and Palestri, Højlund up front as usual. And let's work with something consistent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys, let us know in the comment section as well. Sorry, we're operating in the blind, so you can see yourself here. Please drop. Who do you think? Do you agree with this panel here? Do you agree with Mark? Do you agree with Stewie? Would you play something different? Play the best team according to this thumbnail as well, guys. So big up. Sorry about that. I tried to solve the technical issues. It's not on YouTube side. It's basically StreamYard that's playing up. So sorry, I apologize for that.
I see Brendan Chappell is coming saying you only play Rashford if he does not need to track back. Just because there's space to exploit does not mean he does not need to track back.
Well, I think we've seen good evidence of him not tracking back this season. Okay, he has done it to an extent when he can. Rashford at the moment this year, this season appears to want to do what he wants to do to suit his own game, to suit his own kind of mood at the time. So the issue for me with Rashford is you don't know what you're going to get. I think we can actually. You do. Look, I didn't even consider Palestri actually. That's a bold move, but it could be a bold. Maybe that's what he's got to do. I mean, I noticed a comment. I can't remember who it is, and I was looking for it. Feels that Postecoglou will school Ten Hag. Jamie Malpin. Yeah, we'll get schooled.
Malmin.
Yeah, sorry, Malmin. Yeah. I can't see on my phone.
That's okay. It is what it is.
And he was saying that he had a feeling. Look, Postecoglou surprised everybody on this panel, I would imagine, as well as quite a lot of people in the VAR room, as to his actual skills as a coach and a technical coach. People are saying that he'll just come and he'll play the high on whatever, and he won't care. I don't think he will. I think you'll see a different type of Spurs on Sunday, and the reason is they're in a position now where they could really affect their season. If they were to come away with 3 points, it'd really push them on, to maybe 6 wins away from a top 4 finish. I know we've got quite a few games to go, but they're doing okay. They've had their inconsistent phase, and now they're kind of showing a bit of form, but who knows what will happen with Son at the side. I got a feeling we'll win actually Sunday. I've got a feeling we'll.
Yeah, right.
We'll come away victorious.
Wicked. Should we just go for the scoreline then, if that's the case? If you guys are interested. In that case, I just have to remove the chat, and we will do the spin the wheel if you want.
Yes.
Well, let's not jinx it, guys. Let's not jinx it. Listen, I'm just going to remove this one from the stage for now, and I'm going to bring the famous, you know what we are talking about, guys. We're talking about the footballing gods.
While you're doing that, Mick, Madhouse has come up with an absolute perler. Is Reguilón fit for Spurs? What an absolute perler.
That'd be something.
We've all forgotten about that, haven't we?
Yeah, he's back.
I don't know. Maybe he plays.
Werner will play.
Maybe he plays,
Maybe
Okay,
he
guys.
plays and he plays a blinder against us. These are the things you got to worry about, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it is, isn't
Listen,
it? Yeah.
Listen, as per tradition, I started this tradition because I do believe in footballing gods, right? And we don't want to jinx it. So many times, me, Jarvis, you, Mark, Stu, have been sitting here trying to predict the score, predict the lineup. And how many times did we actually get it right this season? Not much, did we?
Not much.
So therefore, we decided to give it to the footballing gods. So here we see 1-0 to United, 1-1 draw, 2-0 United, 2-2 draw, 3-0 United, 3-1 United, and then it goes down to 4-0, 4-1, and 0-0, like a draw, 0-0. I want you guys to get your score predictions in, place your bets, but we can't see the live chat as we are. We will pull back.
You want me to read them out for you, the score predictions?
Yeah, you can as well.
Mark Davies is coming in saying 2-1 to Tottenham. John Commode is coming in saying 2-0 to United. Lillis United is saying 2-1 Spurs. DJ Superfly says 2-1 Spurs. Jonathan Lillenberg says 7-0 United. Scotty's at the wheel says 3-2 United. Stephanie Griffith says United win 3-1. McRuby special. Captain Caveman says a 0-0 draw. You know, I'm gonna say a McRuby special. I just get that feeling it's a McRuby special today.
And we had.
I'm with you on that, Mark. I was going 3-1. I think we'll win 3-1. Yeah, 3-1. I do. Yeah.
What happened to Jarvis? Jarvis disappeared. He went stealth mode as well.
I went stealth mode. I think we'll win 3-1 as well. I don't know why. I do. I think we will. I think Hoyland scores as well.
Hoyland scores.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, Jarvis says he'd be right back here. I can see in the private chat. So maybe we should just wait for Jarvis because I want to hear his prediction as well, guys, as well. So yeah, I don't know. I always say 3-1 for certain reason because I think it's gonna be a 3-1 United considering the team news, they have 6 missing injury, 6 key players gone, and they're rolling up to Old Trafford. I think the Stretford end is going to be electric. I think it's going to be, it's the first game of 2024 at home in Premier League. It's all down to like how Ten Hag will line up. 100% yeah, I go with 3-1. I think so. I think that Højlund will score. But in order for him to score, we need to have the perfect balance midfield. And that does not include Scott McTominay. I'm sorry to say. We need creativity there. So I agree what you guys are saying. Either it's going to be a Kobe Mainoo with Casemiro, hopefully. And when I say Casemiro playing a little bit more advanced, let Kobe sit. Casemiro a little bit up front, because Casemiro is always a goal threat. He can score headers, but he can also shoot, he can be in the box. And same time, let Bruno do the Bruno things, being the registrar, defining the passes, the cut-through passes and stuff like that. Will Rashford start? In a weird way, I think he will. I think that Ten Hag is kind of banking him to sort of get into form. He scored 30 goals last season and keep saying that all along. The season is still long to go. I think it's how many games left to play? 20-something? 18 games,
18, there's about 18.
Yeah. So if he's going to catch up to his goal tally of 30, he better start scoring. You can't say 1.5, but at least 1 goal per game or 2 goals per game. So he can still catch up to 20-25. Yeah. 100%. There is no Jarvis. So guys, we're running out of time. So yeah, we all placed your bets, but still, we want to hear from Jarvis, right? Do we?
Yeah.
Evo Bossett says he's predicting. Well, I already told you he's predicting a Spurs win. So is Madhouse, but I'm gonna go against the grain against him. Madhouse, I'm saying this for you. That sneaky feeling you got is United winning. You're gonna come and thank me for that later. But somehow,
and what if they're right? What if they're right?
No, I know Spurs has performed well and everything and all, but the strangest thing for me with Spurs this season is not really the fact that they're missing players, because I didn't think that was a big reason why we might win tomorrow. I think we lost the game ourselves against Spurs. I think that and the handball from Romero really kind of destroyed the mentality of our players. But I think the players have shown this season that they would keep trying in the last 5 games. Even though we lost, they kept trying. They weren't like that in the last in the first 5 games. So I think they're facing a different United team. So it's not the same United team that they expect to come in. And a lot of them are going to come in thinking, you know what, we're going to beat United again. So I think they might have some complacency in the Spurs team.
You're right. They call us M&M in the morning, right? M&M. That's what we agree. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. But I can agree what you're saying, because if you look at Spurs season so far, it's been a little bit of a yo-yo season for them as well, right? They haven't been consistent. They found a little bit later form. But now, barring they have 6 key players out, they're coming out to Old Trafford. It's going to be a different story, I think.
And don't forget the Romero effect as well.
Romero and Lo Celso gone.
Yeah, well, the Romero's, the chances of him, if he plays, getting sent off is quite high. Probability-wise, it's quite high. If I'm Højlund, I'm going to be at him, standing on his toes. I'm going to try and get him riled up and get him gone, because he's a yellow card waiting to happen, isn't he?
Yeah,
as soon as he walks on the pitch, the ref does that, gives him a yellow.
So Jarvis is back in the studio. Jarvis, we are waiting for you. So everyone has placed the bets. You have options of 1-0, 1-1, 2-0, 2-2, 3-0, 3-1, 4-0, 4-1, and 0-0. Place your bets, Jarvis. Let the footballing gods decide.
Yeah, my bet is it will be a lot of goal. I think it will be an open-ended game. I think we'll see 2 teams trying to attack. So it's the team who's most deadly in front of goal who will win. We will not keep a clean sheet. So my guess is 2-2.
Oh,
2-2. Jesus Christ. A lot of goals. But they don't have much of attackers. Son is not there. Richarlison is not firing. Who's going to score the goals? Kulusevski. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. All right, guys. Jarvis has spoken. Let football and God speak. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's go. Yalla, yalla, yalla. Come on, let's go. Let's see if Jarvis is going to get his 2-2. I don't think so. It's going to be a freaking 3-1.
3-1. Yes.
I told you so.
Yes.
It's a Ruby Classic. See who actually got 3-1 here, guys. So big up. I told you so as well. Okay, Jarvis, how many times do I have to tell you? 3-1 Ruby Classic stands.
We're not spinning the wheel again, though.
No,
Spin the wheel once.
No,
Yes.
we're not. No, guys, I cannot pull in the chat again. So sorry, we're operating in the blind. So I'm interested to hear your comments as well. But that is a plausible result. 3-1 at United at home. You said
RJ
Jarvis
is saying 3-2 to Spurs, by the way.
3-2, yeah. But you
And
said it's going to be a
Raja
high
as well.
score. Yeah, you're saying I agree. It's going to be a high scoring game. Depends on how Postecoglou. I mean, Postecoglou is stubborn. He will never change his way of play. Right? He will probably go for the play. They will play high line. Yeah, you got the chat going there. Yeah,
It's a
cool.
little bit too big, or
No,
to
that's
take it
perfect,
down a little
man.
bit.
That's what she said.
Oh, that's all right. That's good.
Can you read
Sorry.
this,
I don't
Stu?
need my glasses for that.
Or
Yeah, I don't need my glasses for that.
No,
No, you're
that's
making it too big, Jarvis. That's like...
That's what she said
Hey,
too.
I'm not that blind. I'm not that blind.
Yeah.
All right.
this is okay.
Hey, John
Definitely
Commode
saying it's
rechanged his
happening.
score to 3-1, bless him.
Yeah. Okay, hopefully this is the last time we have to do this manually, but we can see 3-1 Lillis United is also. I got 3-2, says Scotty at the wheel. What else do we have? Yeah, we will beat the Spurs, what Sanjay said.
What's it? City scoreline rigged.
Yeah, for
No,
Bossage,
trust
yeah.
me, it's not rigged. It's not rigged. It's not rigged. Footballing gods don't rig things. Right, cool. 1 hour and 15 minutes into the stream. Really apologize for Vicky's not could make it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's like, when you're playing a game of football, sometimes you go on the warm-up, you pull your hamstring and you cannot. So here's the good substitutes, what we have here. Unfortunately, Jarvis is not Vicky. I'm not Vicky. I'm just Mickey. You know what I mean? And, Mark is Mark. So we have the M&Ms. And if it was... if we only had Stu and Vicky, that would be like, VS versus, right? Spurs versus Manchester, Vicky versus, you know what I mean? Jokes aside, my bad humor. But hopefully we'll see you guys on next time as well, guys. So yeah, 100%.
Hopefully the work wife will be with us. That's what.
Yes, the work wife.
That's what she is, the work wife. So she'll be with us. Bless her.
Carl Peterson was the only one that managed to get through. So if you're watching on X, he was saying there basically that was the only comments that we managed to get through. Or Twitter or X is saying, if available, I would go with Maino, Casemiro, Bruno in the midfield, and I think so too. That would be the perfect midfield. So that was the only comment we managed to pull through, and that actually from Twitter. So it proves to me it's a YouTube fault, not here.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. Smash the notification bell so you see when we are live again. And make sure you get in the comments. Leave it in the non-live section if you don't have a chance to watch the video live. You know it is.
True. Okay, I have nothing
want to bring
to
out
say.
a rumor, Mick, while we are at it. I read today that Ten Hag and Man United is interested in Ajax striker Brian Brobby.
Again,
but not for the January window, but as a potential striker for the summer transfer window.
Oh,
so, do you guys know Brian Brobby, who plays at Ajax?
Of course we do. We were linked with him last
actually
summer.
Not that bad,
So, what do you think?
I think he's inconsistent, but I think he has all the facets of a top striker. He kind of strikes me quite similar in stature and ability to Kylian Mbappe, but he's way more inconsistent. He's got the same amount of speed. He's got that guile. He kind of looks like Doku when he's on the ball, to be fair. But it's just that he just makes some mistakes. Like he drags the ball too much and loses it, or you know what I mean? It's just too inconsistent. So I don't know about that.
Do you reckon that could be fixable, trainable, Stu? A little bit raw around the, rough around the edges.
Well, yeah, it can be. The trouble with that is that I don't know how old he is, old Brobby. If he's like 22, 23, he'll have his set way of playing, and it's very difficult to chisel that out of a footballer at that age. The best age to mould a player, believe it or not, is between 12 and 15. That's the best age to mould a player. I don't see Brobbey giving us any. Yeah, I don't see Brobbey giving us anything different to Højlund. Really, I can't see him coming and scoring the goals that Højlund isn't scoring. For me, right now, I think you've got to go Premiership proven, Premier League proven.
Yeah,
and I would look at somebody like people won't like it, Ollie Watkins. I think a kind of, depending on what you have behind him, I think he'd score us goals. I'm not so sure about Ivan Toney. I know Tony will be up for grabs in the summer, and everyone will go for him in the summer.
I invited Ivan Toney to place a bet on the spinning wheel, but he declined.
Yeah.
What about we get if we go in Prem proven, I will suggest Evan Ferguson. If we go in experienced striker, I'll have to stick with GB on this one and suggest Oliver Giroud. I think
I've got no issues with Giroud. I've got no problems with Giroud. Evan Ferguson, you're buying for, that's a Fergie type signing. I totally agree. I've got no issues with that at all. I think that's a great signing.
Let's just be sensible, because we ain't buying anyone in January. So if it's gonna be a loan, Jarvis is probably what I heard. There's some rumors about Josh King again. Josh King,
again, really,
again,
yeah. He plays a Fenerbahce
as well.
And Jonathan Davy as well, which is Norwegian as well, isn't he?
No,
I think he's Canadian.
But
Canadian,
or American. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yala comes out with a good one here. Solanke, the striker I would go for.
Solanke's not a bad shout, to be fair.
No,
I don't think he'll be that expensive. I think
I've got no issues with Solanke, but it's his first season of any notable.
Okay, my wife is saying, Mickey, urgent, pick up the phone, please. Tell somebody, Mickey, pick up the phone. Okay, urgency. That's my wife in the chat there. Can you see that, Alvina? Yeah, sorry.
The only reason I'd say no to Solanke is it's his only notable season, isn't it, of goal scoring? Oh, he's done amazingly well. Look. Watkins for me, and I know he's not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. I do. I really do. I get that. But there are certain types of players, and I think Watkins has got a little bit of what we need right now in terms of pace, finishing ability. But not only that, he knows where to be. He knows how to get on the end of things. And
the price that they will want for him.
Yeah, I
think is like beyond. It's like what we pay for Mason Mount. Like, all fairness, people might be mad at me with this. I think Ollie Watkins is in the same line as Mason Mount. You see the team he's performing in, he does well in that team. I think going to another team,
head above that
left
level
to be seen. Yeah, it's like Calvin Phillips, right? Like I was one of those people in my honestly, I never rated Calvin Phillips. When Manchester City bought him, I was like, that's a dud. So said it, so done, in my honest opinion. You know what I mean? Like, people might say I'm mad because I kind of rate Anthony a little bit, but I just think his form is bad. But I just feel like, there are certain type of strikers that will be, or players that will play well in a mid-table team. And then when they go up to a next level team, the pressure is not the team, it's the pressure. Eventually, like, they might have a few good games, but the moment they have a bad game, it's like sink or swim is start to go downhill. You know what I mean? So that's my only thing with like a Ollie Watkins. That's why I say like maybe a Evan Ferguson's, because if you're talking about mentality, Evan Ferguson's have it in spades. You have all the ability.
Are you then you're talking about a young strike again, and then I'll go for Benjamin Sesko all day long.
Yeah, well, I like Sesko. I mean, obviously he's
40 million you can get it for in the summer.
He's available as well, isn't he? This
he's available for loan as well.
Yeah. He's available for loan. Yeah,
just like Timo Werner, they both sat on the bench to this breakout season that young Openda is having at Leipzig. One of the guys mentioned Openda, but trust me, Leipzig not selling him for less than 150 million.
Oh, easy.
He's had a hand in every single goal Leipzig scored this season, no matter what competition they're in.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to disappear. There was my wife crying out because she was stuck on the balcony and we're having a cat fight. So we rescued one cat, and we nursed him. And male cat versus male cat, it's not a good sign, especially when they get eye contact. They're standing like a Mexican showdown, like they see each other for the first time through the balcony, and go, like ninja. And she's stuck in between. She's trying to call me, and it's like I'm on the stream, so that's why she chatted. So my apologies. Anyway,
it's very interesting with this striker. I see a lot of good choices there. We have Gonzalo Ramos, but he's at PSG at the moment, I believe. Vlahovic, but Sesko, yeah, he's a shout if he's available, says Ed Barrett. And I think also Sesko is the man we should go for. If not, we go for the Bournemouth striker. I like Solanke because
me too.
He looks really good this season, but I don't know if he can keep it consistent and have another good season at this level.
He needs to
me a little bit. So I wouldn't go all out and buy Solanke, let's say for 80 to 100 million. That's
why go out buy so I like to go, when I go to Greece, I like to buy Souflaki for like €1.
But guys, Solanke scored like 12 or 13 goals last season, and he had like 8 assists. So this season he already had 12 goals and have like 4 assists or something like that. I don't think he needs a next season. I think Solanke is probably gonna give you like that average, like about 15 goals a season. I think that's worth it. If we're talking something
how old
like
is he?
40. Not too sure.
He's mid-20s, isn't he? 25.
He flopped at Liverpool, didn't he?
About 28, or is it something like that?
26.
26. Okay,
26.
so
that's perfect. That's a perfect age.
That's not bad. That's a good age, and he had the experience age. He could teach Hoyland. So
there's a couple of things you're looking at 60 to 80 mil for him, and he, it's a summer purchase. We need somebody in short term to help take the burden off of.
Short term. I mean, I don't think we're going to get. I think we're going to sign one. His name is Jack, and then surname is Shit.
Yes.
In the January.
I know him.
He's very good. Yeah.
We have signed him before,
Yeah, we have.
I just have another topic on the end of the show. I just want to talk a little bit with you guys about. Did you read all the new Sancho tweets and things he said? Now he said, "I'm finally home." It's back to Dortmund, and he posts in his number 10 shirt, and he looks so happy. Aren't you guys happy for him?
Yeah. I am happy for him. You know what? I'm supremely happy for him, Jarvis. 100%. Because you want to know something, Jarvis? And I wanted to say this. That I don't want to. I'm glad that I thought I had enough time to calm down because I was super upset. He looked so at home in that kit. He never looked so at home at United. In my honest opinion, he never smiled like that at United. He looked happy in some moments, But when the way he was talking in the snippet, because I was in Germany, so I was watching it. And it was like, I see my teammates. I know this facility. I've been here before so many times. He could have said that he came back and felt nostalgia, but he said he feels like he's coming back home and he's happy to be here. He's ready to to score goals, get assists, and help his teammates qualify for the Champions League. I think that's a bit over the top for a player who's still contracted to Manchester United on a 6-month loan. You know what I mean? That's like a slap in the face. That's just my opinion.
I just saw Vicky in the pull up in the chat. Pick up Vicky anyway.
Is she up?
No
is she?
problem.
There she is.
There she is.
Hey, Vic.
Vicky was supposed to be on, but she pulled a hamstring in the last minute. She's been boxing and swimming and getting fed, and things happen, right? So we are the original. We are the substitutes, says Vic. So next time, Vic, no worries.
Mark, but Jarvis will back me up on this because this was a show that he saw me on about 3.5 years ago. When I got absolutely vilified when I said we don't need Sancho and Sancho would not work. I'm on YouTube. It's on record. Wouldn't work for us. And I got vilified, absolutely destroyed, Mark, in the comments. You don't know what you're talking about. You've never seen him play, blah, 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 blah. You don't know football, all that rubbish. And it's not a told you so moment because it isn't. What annoys me more than anything is the total disrespect towards the fans of our great club. And I back up exactly what you're talking about there, Mark. You can't go earning I don't know, what's he earning? 60% of our coin still, or 50% of our coin, whatever it is. We're still paying him 50, 60% of his salary. And then saying, I want to help my teammates, I feel home, kiss the badge and all this kind of stuff. You can't do that. But we talk about modernism in football all the time. And this is what the modern day player is. And this is just another nail into the supporters' coffin of every club globally. And you should take note of what Sancho's done. You should take note of what the rumblings of what's happening in Saudi Arabia at the minute. All these players wanting to come back. You should take note that these players don't give an absolute crap about anything else but themselves. And I'm sorry, I know what Mark's saying, and I agree with him. If he wants to go and play football, but you've got to go with a bit of decorum. You've got to go with some real integrity, and he's got zero integrity for me by that.
Listen, I can come back to with 3 points on what you iterated, because we used to have, I mean, Jay Daly used to be like coming onto our shows when we, certain reason he's not appearing here, but we do love you, Jay. We do respect you still. But he called the baby Sancho, remember? And I was interacting with him and said, "You're absolutely right. Like baby Sancho's, like still crawling in his diapers, still, right? He couldn't, he didn't cut it at a similar situation. He won a game time at City, didn't get it. Made a bold move to Dortmund, made a big name in German Bundesliga, came back to Premier League and discovered that maybe I'm not cut for this league, Got overpaid. All of a sudden, like I think we more than doubled his wages. Quadruple his wages. Became a millionaire over one night and took the piss out of the whole club. Like, in order for it's not only the gaffer, like, it's the club decision to remove him from the playing squad and the canteen and everything. And then I was watching Terry Flewis the other day and he was saying basically like, Jadon Sancho embarrassed Ten Hag with this move, and it's like, how can he be embarrassed? And he embarrassed himself, he embarrassed the club, he embarrassed the whole playing staff, he disrespected everyone, because it's very rare commodity or very, very rare opportunity that you get removed, not to have any contact with your playing mates, or it's misconduct in any HR business or any business. Like, you must have rocked up drunk and slagged off everyone, or kicked up a fuss or a fight. That's the only reason why he's been kept away, like, for being a bad influence on the kids in the academy, eating by himself in the lunch, having lunch in the lunchbox in the car park, XYZ. But on the other hand, though, yes, I'm happy for him. Why am I happy for him? Because now he can go and there's no obligation to buy for Dortmund.
No.
But at least if he comes home and feels home, start bagging in goals, then we can even cash in the summer and recuperate that money, 50, 60, whatever he might. I mean, it's all down to Sancho. Guys, do you reckon he will score goals, or I don't know? What do you reckon? So big up for Jadon.
I hope he scores at least 15 goals and gets at least 15 assists. You know why? So that 5 clubs could come in, and the ones who come with the most money who may not be Dortmund, and we sell them to that club. You know what? Yeah, because listen, right?
Is saying here.
I get that we should always pay attention to players, and we have to always, try to cope with players in this separate. But at the same time, Sancho, he could have done better. Could have apologized like Beckham, even if he didn't mean it. And then he could have, come and prove the manager wrong and embarrass him by his play style.
Yeah, but Rushmano did a comment here. We saw it, and like maybe he's also in the back of his mind. He's thinking, well, if I do come back to manage him, will not be there. That's player power, and that needs to go as well. No, thank you.
Stop that.
For me,
stop player power.
For me, it's embarrassing. Go, never come back. That's it. Like, once you're pissed on the badge, get out of here. That's my opinion.
I think Mark's right. I would like to see him. As much as it pains me to say, I would like to see him do okay. I don't think he'll be the Sancho that Dortmund saw 4 years ago, where he was ripping up the Bundesliga. He was ripping it up. And I don't think he'll be it. I think he's got complacent. I think he's put himself in that exile. He made that choice not to play football. And I don't know what to expect. I wouldn't know what I would want from him, apart from I don't know. I don't want to say it because I just
No, go ahead. Freedom of speech. I mean,
I just feel this untoward. If I'm a teammate of him at Manchester United and I'm a teammate of him at Dortmund, I don't know what to expect. And I've said it before. We've got weak players in our dressing room because that never would have happened at Man City. It wouldn't have happened at Liverpool. I don't know. Good riddance as far as I'm concerned. As long as we get.
I'm just going to say one final thing, one final piece only, and I think that it's pure stupidity. You played yourself up for a big contract, right? And at the end of the day, you made it. You came to Manchester United, and you became complacent. Just because you made it and come to one of the biggest club in Europe, or arguably in the world, and getting the massive wages that you did, doesn't mean that you stop performing, right? Ten Hag did nothing wrong with you. Ten Hag gave you chances. Ten Hag sent you away for mental issues, mental problems, go away for boot camp. He gave him chances, but at the end of the day, he was frustrated because there was nothing more he could have done. And some people say he called him out publicly. No, he was just, commenting like, he's not training because of what did he say? Like, it's basically not because it's not. He didn't call him out for being trash, but it was Jadon that came out to say like more than Ten Hag ever did say. At the end of the day, it's not the manager's decision. It's a club collective decision because this needs to be discussed with HR, with the board, with everyone. So why people are blaming Ten Hag for it, I don't understand, because in normal business practice, it needs to be decided by a committee or board, like, a ominous decision. So that's all I have to say. Good luck, baby Sancho.
Yeah.
Score a lot of goals.
Good luck, baby Sancho. Yeah. Baby Sancho, he's, for me, I'm not sure what to expect. I think if you have a good season, half of a season with Dortmund, maybe he gets selected for the England Euro squad even, and I really think
but
that
why
he
was
can
he never
hit it on because
again?
the Bundesliga is a different type of league. It's a different animal compared to the.
Question, Jarvis. A question to you. He's ever since he missed that penalty kick, in the shootouts, he's never been selected by Southgate again. Yeah. You got to ask this, is there something more to it? Because is it his attitude? And why has he never been picked again for the England?
Yeah, that's
Switching
a good question.
Trinidad and Tobago. Let me move on.
Okay.
Switching allegiance to Trinidad and Tobago.
Switch to Trinidad and Tobago. Mark would be happy. Play for Trini.
I don't think Southgate would take him, Jarvis, to be honest, mate. I think for Dortmund it's a win-win. It's a very, very low economic outlay for Dortmund, isn't it? So it's a bit of a win-win for them if he turns up and takes them into Champions League. But come the summer, if he does have that impact as you think that he might, come the summer, there are certain players within England like Harry Kane, Grealish. They wouldn't want him anywhere near and I think Southgate, Kyle Walker, I don't think they'd want him anywhere near England at all, and I don't want him anywhere near England.
Well, it all depends if he hits the ground running, in the Bundesliga. If he like Mark suggested, if he scores 15 goals and 15 assists, it's hard to not select him. I would suspect that the English audience would demand Jadon Sancho to play, and you have a history of hyping
I got
up,
the perfect replacement. He's 4-footed. He can score a lot of goals, and he's scratching me as well. He's got a lot of bites. Sorry, guys.
We do, John.
You have a history of hyping up players who play abroad. You see with Bellingham and Kane, and there's a lot of headlines in the English newspaper, even when they have a good game, not even scores and stuff like that. So I think he might have a chance. I would say.
My worry with that is, and it doesn't really matter what my worry is, but you're just rewarding petulance, and I just want to strangle a petulant child.
Yeah, but we footballer, we have a short memory. Footballing.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Jarvis. I mean, your take on it is more rational than mine, because I just wouldn't put up with a little.
I've got a question, guys.
Dortmund.
I have a question, guys. You think he who shall not be named because after being named Spanish Player of the Month in La Liga this month, you think he will get a call up for the Euros if his form continues? You know what I mean?
He's still contracted to United. He should not make number 11.
We talk about
Mason Greenwood. Yeah, he's Player of the Month in La Liga this month, and his form. I mean, to be Player of the Month in La Liga when there's so many good players. There's Jude Bellingham, and he's got Player of the Month over Jude Bellingham. So
yeah, I know.
I'm just saying, if his form continues to the Euros, then what about him? He should be in contention for England call up.
It's a good question.
Or even United. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
it's a good question for Stu because you live in England. You live there. Would the English media and fans accept Greenwood?
Mason Greenwood unfortunately slipped into a category that he'll never be able to dig himself out of. Although he was not proven not guilty, the charges were dropped.
But in the public's eyes, he is guilty.
In the public's eyes, I was about to say this, Mick. For me, I look at my girls every night. I hug them and I cherish them. And I can't imagine what I would do. Actually, I do. If somebody hurt one of my girls, I would do what I needed to do. And then I would go to the police station and hand myself in. That's what I would do. And I would do my time. But I tell you something. I would tell you something, that person would not be breathing. Now, I can't undo, I can't unsee, I can't unhear what I read like everybody else in this country. Now, is he guilty? By the letter of the law, no, because the charges are dropped. Do I think he's guilty? Absolutely. Do I want him back at Manchester United as a person? No. I don't want him anywhere near our club. I don't think
as a player?
As a player, Mark's right. Mark's right as a player. He is. And I know Jarvis is, you're absolutely right as a footballer. If you took all that out of the equation, if you forgot everything else, I can't. Yes, you would want him back. But I hear
you. Sorry for keep going.
Yeah, all I was saying is I'm still, he is the number 11. I can't even bring myself to say his name. I've got a similar issue, by the way, with Anthony. By the way, I've got a similar issue with him. So,
guys, I have a catastrophe here. If you can hear it still,
but
I echo what you're saying. But me personally, I don't look at the player, the person. I look at the player. Always do. What goes on in their personal life. It's not my business.
No, that's true. I understand that. It's just my personal opinion.
Business,
It's just my personal opinion, and I couldn't get behind him if he came back. But I understand, Mark, your point. I get it, mate, and Mick, I get yours, and Jarvis, I get yours. And I think it would be the most divided.
It will be.
Re-emergence ever in English football.
But guess what? We have a bigger problem.
But Stu, just to put it in context, we know that there's been a lot of players on the English national team who's not exactly been saints during the years, and stuff that was even publicly noted. So in a way, has the standards raised for people behaving?
No, they're all tossers. Anyone who plays for our national team are all tossers to an extent. They get away with everything. They get away with believing their own hype, believing their own press. They get away with stupid caps. Steven Gerrard amassed 106 caps somehow. For what? For what? Why? Why did you get 106 caps? We in this country, and it's proven again in this country, only a handful of 1966 World Cup winners were made Knights of the Realm. Only a handful out of a team. It's happened again with the women's Euros winning team. Only 3 have been given New Year's honours. It doesn't stack for me. In England, we don't necessarily enjoy international football. We will support our team when it comes to the Euros, and because we've got pride, just like everyone else has in the world, and so they should, for your country, your flag, your national anthem. It makes you, It does it for you. But when you look at the idiots that have captained John Terry, what he's done in the past, Ashley Cole, what he's done in the past, David Beckham to an extent, what he's done in the past. There's a reason Beckham hasn't got a knighthood, fellas. A reason he hasn't got a knighthood. We've had all sorts of goings on and shenanigans within England. Paul Gascoigne, embarrassed our national team. So for me, we give caps out like confetti. We don't pick players who deserve to play because Harry Kane's, not scoring goals, but it's still Harry Kane. And I just find England absolutely deplorable sometimes. It makes my skin crawl. England, and I don't like it. So that's just me. I love football. I do. I absolutely adore football. Hey, Vic. Hey,
big up, Vicky.
Vicky for coming with the super chat.
I'm going to give you this, darling. Yes, you got the glasses. Woohoo!
So basically, she's saying time to move on and talk about something. Who do you most looking forward coming back from injury? Big up, Vicky. Thank you so much.
Casemiro for me.
Casemiro.
Leacher for me because I'm a centre half, Mark. Leacher for me because I'm a centre half
as well. Both of them actually. Both of them, to be fair.
So,
I'm sorry for going on about that.
No, I think if you go back to the comments, there was one comment that I noticed from Jale Malmin. If you go up further, forgiveness is a virtue and something like that. I can't forget what it was. It was just before Vicky there.
Said forgiveness is a virtue. The girl forgave him. Her family forgave him. Someone does a crime. They serve their time. Should they not get a second chance to become part of society?
Yeah, and I think that's a very good quote. And it comes down to public opinion. It comes down to personal preference. I can understand if you're father to two young daughters, it's a sensible topic. You cannot undo what you hear. But at the end of the day, like, we're human beings, like, and we got to think that he's a person behind, the judgment as well. Like, so we don't really know the true story, what really went on. So, just to be balanced. I like to sort of put that balance, but I big up for Jale for coming in with that to remind people that
it's a great quote, and I like it. Yeah. And I'll put some on record for you now. If you ask me, do I think he'll come back? The answer would be yes. I think he will
come back. I think so. Yes. He's an asset. That's the thing.
I believe he will come back.
All right. But thank you, Witterbird. Thank you, Vicky, and hopefully we see you very soon back fit for fight. I know you got boxing tomorrow morning, right? Getting with a personal trainer, right? No, yes, no, yes, no. I don't know. Punch him hard.
Boxing, wow. Yes, Stu, you do a little bit of a boxing, don't you?
I do. Yes, I box. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite things. So I box, I cycle, I go to the gym, and I play football. So I try and keep as fit as I can. But hats off to Vic today, by the way, guys. She deadlifted 120 kg. That is wow. That is a brilliant
deadlift. Shit, with the right technique. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a great.
How's your legs, Vix?
Brilliant.
She's all right.
That's a lot of dead. Wow. Yeah. Jesus, I hate deadlifts. I do hate deadlifts. What's the purpose of them? But it's a full body training workout, deadlifts. I know.
Yeah, it's glutes as well, isn't it? I don't like deadlift, but no, she was 120, absolutely terrific. That's brilliant.
Yeah, no, seriously, I always tend to pull a hamstring or something when I do deadlifts, but it's all about technique. Anyway, thank you, Online Hub. Thank you so much, guys. I'm actually getting knackered here, and for me, it's been a catastrophe not having a proper chat working, having two cats fighting over each other. One was freshly introduced. We picked up from the street. We nursed him. And now there's two male cats are fighting, and one has been in here. We think we're going to name him Vida, right? Got to give him a proper United name. But guys, if you can suggest something in the comments, how hard it is to introduce two male cats to each other. Difficult.
Very.
Yeah. So I'm out of here in a certain sense.
Timmy,
if you guys
Timmy in the chat. It's Timmy. I love that name. Timmy.
Timmy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tim Tams.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
my favorite
Well,
pick.
one
up to
last.
me.
I got a DM from Rushmano. I
Yeah,
just
you
wanted to
did.
add something to the Sancho debate, and he said Ten Hag showed Sancho videos of the final training session before the trip to Arsenal, a practice between what would be United starting 11 and a shadow side, including Sancho, designed to imitate the North London opponent, and the manager was unhappy with Sancho's application in the session, particularly with his pressing, and Sancho didn't agree with that. So basically, that's the reason for the fallout in the first place. It's reported by Laurie Whitwell and the Athletic. So
It's per
There you
usual.
go.
Yeah.
what do you
100%.
guys? You heard it before, or
Yeah,
No, I
and it's
heard.
like it's one of those things where I feel like it's totally normal if you're working for someone and they give you an assessment on your performance. You could disagree with their assessment, but at the end of the day, they're showing you based on their standards, not your own. And if they're the one in charge of you and managing you, and they employ you, then they have a right to tell you, listen, your standard needs to raise a little bit higher, man.
Your
Yeah,
standards should be higher than theirs.
I
You
know
know,
we were
Exactly.
sitting here, and Jay Daly had some. He got that information like even weeks before he broke out to the press, and they had the bust out like at the Carrington. So it was more than that. He was going after the. If I believe it's the sources that we got from Jay, was basically he went not only on Ten Hag, he went on his coaches and everyone, like basically dropping f-bombs and telling them to piss off, like a petulant child, like throwing the toys out of the pram, like so it might be something like he couldn't take the criticism. Anyway, it's all gone. It's all gone Pete Tong. Like he's there. Dortmund, wish him best of luck. Score a lot of goals, increase your value, and then we see where you be in the summer, mate.
one last topic before we end the show. I just want to ask
Oh.
you a quick answer. There's some rumors now that Ineos is seriously considering an offer from Al Hilal in Saudi on Marcus Rashford in the summer of 24. So and
What?
Paul Mitchell, he thinks. I don't know. This is wild speculations, but he thinks that Rashford already has hit his peak. So the question is, are we ready to sell Rashford in the summer if we get a decent amount of money for him?
Cash in.
take it.
Cash in.
Who will go first?
Bro.
Take it and
Nick.
go. Take it
Let me
and go
go
like
first,
Russell Peters. Have you seen Russell
If they're
Peters?
giving me 180, could we ask them to negotiate 130 if they could take him tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly.
I would
It's-
give
you
up
know what?
50 million if they would take him tomorrow. Swear.
Yeah, I read the
Yes.
same. I read the same article. It came out about 2 weeks ago that they were holding the 180 mil price till the summer
Nobody
of
goes.
2024. And I'm with Mark. Give us 120. Give us one.
Oh, yeah.
Give us 110. Give us 100. Take him now.
I do like Russell. You know Russell Peters. You know the comedian Russell Peters. Hey Russell, too good. Take it, just take it and go. Take it and go. Take it and go. I was just said take it and go. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
take it and
Sorry
go.
not to be
Go.
disrespectful, but that's a
the
quote from
money.
Russell Peters. Take the money and run.
Yeah, I see the VAR room comes in here. They say Cashford won't go. Riot 3 comes in and say 50 million, let it go. So it is the same as Mick.
Go.
GB George Best comes in, say take the money and run. So yeah, and Dave 147 say sell him defo. So and Rushmano comes in, sell him without a doubt. So I feel like Rashford is not wanted in Man United anymore. I think we are fed up with him not performing and taking such big space and always like forcing himself into a starting 11. Into the starting 11, and his wages are like super high. So yeah, I agree with that. It's time to let him go.
Also
I can
sell it.
tell you just to like I did this morning in this exercise this morning. Mark remembers, like the top 3 earners in the club. Carlos Casemiro is on 350 a week. Rafael Varane is on 340, and then third is Marcus Rashford on 300,000 a week. And then we're talking about British pounds, of course, right? And that's why I've been saying it's a generational makeshift that you see that you have Hannibal Magebury, like he's on 5,000 a week. Then you have Kobe Mainoo on 10,000 a week, Pelistri on 20,000, Amad Diallo 29 almost, right? And then he goes Alejandro Garnacho on 50. So you can see where we are heading at. Like, get rid of those dead woods and start building, put a threshold in 150 cap. You know what? Because the way where it starts to go crazy, like even Lisandro Martinez is 120, right? And he's one of our best players. You know, Luke Shaw is 150. Christian Eriksen was on a free 150. But here's when it goes haywire, and this is the bullshit players. Maguire, 189, 190 per week. Dos Santos, Anthony, 200 grand a week. Right, we paid like 100 million for him. What has he performed? Okay, Bruno Fernandes is the captain, but now it comes Jadon Sancho on 250. Mason Mount, at number 7. We gave him number 7. We were paying him 250 a week. He didn't even get 250 a week.
Bench number 7.
A bench number 7 as well. So now you see why we need to do that. Exercise. What you can agree to disagree. I never will accept 25%, but if they do the proper optimization, just start from there, to chop off in the middle and start building beneath, right? So that's my opinion.
And there lies the problem, guys. If Sancho did, start telling people to F off and all of that, it's easy when you've got 10 million quid in the bank. When you're waking up that morning, you got 10 million.
They're millionaires, right? They're
when
millionaires.
Somebody tells you something you don't like, you're just going to say, "Oh, it's off. I don't care."
You know what's embarrassing, right? You know what's embarrassing? You know our total value of the squad right now. You know what that is? Honest to God, 203 million, almost 204 million, which is the playing squad, right? How embarrassing if we rock up to FC Copenhagen and the entire squad is worth what? 60 million?
65 million, yeah.
65 million. And we're not even through in Champions League. And now you can understand why you need to do this exercise. Yes, buddy. Sorry.
Right. If there's one thing needs to be sorted out at United is the wage structure for some of these players.
That is.
It's not helping anyone. And to be fair, I feel like we held on to Marcus Rashford 4 years too long. And I think that kind of laid a ripple effect onto Jadon Sancho because I just wanted to highlight that the number 10 that he get at Dortmund is like is a shot at Marcus Rashford because that's one of the players he fell out with in the arguments with Ten Hag and them. So.
But then, guys, isn't that something clear and obvious that nobody's safe here, right? I was criticizing why get rid of Casemiro, Varane. They are the high earners, and then you have Rashford. So there obviously is some plan from Ineos maybe to potentially ship him off, right? Would he go to Saudi? Would it go to Saudi in the first place?
Well, the interesting thing is Lingard won't go to Saudi for whatever reason. He can probably earn 200-300 grand a week there, and he can't be bothered to go out there. Nobody wants him in the UK. I don't know. But he doesn't need the money. He's another one. Doesn't need the money.
Don't need the money anymore. Yeah.
People are calling him out, but he doesn't need the money.
Sorry, I got to move. Catastrophe.
100%. Yeah, I see Stephanie Griffith come in there and say 60 likes. That's fantastic, guys. I'm so grateful. So if any of you haven't hit the like yet, just hit the like, and it helps out the channel tremendously. So that's fantastic. Thank you, Stephanie Griffith, for keeping us updated on the likes. That's really good because, as Mick mentioned, it's not about the subscribers anymore. It's about likes.
Correct.
It's about likes and views. It's more, and we appreciate all the likes as you get. It's free, because YouTube keeps changing its algorithm, and the more likes you have, the more they think that people like, and they will promote it to the next viewer to watch. So I mean, we're not a big channel. We are just 20,100. We're one of the smaller ones. If you look at the big corporate ones, of course, the majority of the chunk is called Gold, and it has a bridge in between, and we're just at the very end of that bridge, but we are kind of a little bit different. We're realistic. We are having a balanced opinion. We allow you to you, and if you want to hit the like, please do so, because it really helps. And everything that you donate goes straight into the channel. We're just here small fish trying to become a big fish, but we will never be a big shark anyway. We always stay true.
And tomorrow we have Poppy has a fantastic show, the quiz show with Poppy. We will co-stream, so you can find it on this channel, or you can go to Poppy's channel, Botswana Poppy, and subscribe to that channel. And the quiz is fantastic. It's if you ever played Kahoot, you just download an app and you can play online with us in the game.
But you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is? You know what the problem I had? The delay. The delay. But it's a brilliant because everyone can play the game, right? You can be a million people playing the game and it will be live on the broadcast. Look forward. That's really fantastic, exciting. So tune in tomorrow night as well.
Did you make top 10 last time?
I will never tell you who I am.
I'll give you guys a little heads up that the quiz show tomorrow is going to serve on the Premier League opening weekend for the first week of the last maybe.
So wait a minute, you got the brown paper envelope? That's
no, I don't get the brown paper bag.
Hey, Jarvis, pull out the red card here.
I'm just saying. I'm just explaining that they usually the topics from my own personal referencing. The topics are usually happen in reference to the.
You're right.
The topics usually happen in reference to the game week.
That's
so
cheating.
Like whatever happened that year, some years ago, or the last few years, or whatever. Like same with the FA Cup week. I just think about it like that. That's why I do good in the chats, and I'm always in the top 5.
All right. Big up for everyone. Listen, with that note, we'll be back tomorrow for the manager's press conference. I don't think we'll do anything in the morning. There's nothing really exciting to report because I know there's not going to be any transfer movement. It's all about the outs. So we will be back tomorrow for the manager's press conference. I think it's about 1:45 UK time in the afternoon. I think it will be me and M&M's will be there. Mick and Mark will be there tomorrow covering it live. And then we should see you for
in the chat.
Yeah, of course, everyone join us. And then we see you on Sunday, I guess, for the pre-match, post-match, and all that jazz, right? But also back on what you said on Friday evening for a little bit more of entertainment. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I was not supposed to be here. It used to be supposed to be my day off, but I'm here because I love you guys. And Vicky, take care of yourself. Stu, thank you so much. And hopefully we see you guys on regular on every Tuesday as well. We'll talk about that as well. Jarvis, as per usual, I like your new colors. Some people have been complaining that you always choose blue, so questioning your loyalty. Are you blue or red?
White today, dressed in white.
You're white, yeah.
The lights we're talking about, Jarvis. It's the lights.
The lights.
Okay, the lights.
You can wear all the blue T-shirts you want, man. Just keep the lights red.
Yeah. Anyway, I know it's been a little bit 2 hours. I know it's been 2 hours. Yeah, there we got the disco lights. A little bit unusual match preview. It was never supposed to be a proper match preview. The whole idea was to have an engagement, like, pick the best team and talk about the problems and as a community to discuss. And therefore, you never saw us pulling up a lineup. It was more free-based discussion. And I hope you enjoyed the show, guys. That's about it from my end.
Yeah, before we go, I just want to shout out. I just want to go back here. Where is it?
Oh, yeah, you want to pull that out.
Yeah, I just want to say goodbye to all the people, all the legends. We have here Ivo Bosic, Jamie Wayne, Lilies United, Riot. We have Madhouse, Nick Nash. Who else do we have? We have Dave 147.
Ramo in the chat, Brendan Chappell, Ivo Bosic again, Nick Nash, Illis United, Witterbird, Rush Mano, Stephanie Griffith as usual. We got Jamie Wayne in here. Who else is
Ramo.
here?
Dove is here. Yeah, everyone that was
Ramo,
here, but
he's
also
always
Ed Barrett, welcome first-time viewer as well, and also Rush Mano for gifting 20 membership earlier.
Legend.
And welcome to Carl Pearson, who's tuned in on X as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So
and
with
first
that,
up, I'm seeing Baba Drame as well.
Baba Drame.
It's
So,
Timmy,
guys,
homie.
Timmy. With all that jazz, let's close the shop, guys. I'm absolutely knackered. It is what it is. It's 6 a.m. in the morning where I'm sitting, but that's what it is. Yeah, but you love this football team. You love you guys. You love the community and all. I love to talk about football. Sometimes I talk too much. I hope we had our say and hopefully we made your better day, or maybe it's evening, wherever you are. This has been Stu Wooley there, following on Twitter. Big up Stu, and also on the Devil's podcast as well. United Marks, you can see him here every morning with me, M&M's, but also he's running his own channel as well. He does some exciting transfer market news as well. Jarvis, you can find him here as per usual, next to me. We are Beavis and Butthead, or what do you say? Like, without Maverick, there's no goose. Right. And you can also see him on Nerd Instruction with the United Real Therapy as well.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Thank you for all your likes. If you do watch in retrospective, guys, don't forget, peace, love, banana. We used to say banana, but
Vicky just sent a message saying, sorry she couldn't get online, but it was a great show. Thank you all.
thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Vicky.
guys.
Vicky.
All right.
And if you
Take it
guys
easy,
are
guys.
guessing, Jarvis is Goose.
Okay, it's Goose. All right. Okay, if we are Beavis and Butthead, who is Beavis and who's Butthead?
Well, I mean, I'd say he's Beavis. Just look at him.
Who am I? I don't know.
TP for my Bengal.
Right. Too much, guys. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye for now. Enjoy
Bye.
your evening. See you tomorrow. Bye.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.